Let's do this, team. What's up and welcome to Motosumo. My name is Ben Parsons. I am here as your instructor, your guide, your co-rider, everything. I'll be your friend as well, if you would like. Team, this is gonna be your 45-minute endurance game. This is a joy to teach, a joy to ride in, because we just lock in, because we get involved. And once you're in, you're in. It's like a long journey together. It's like we're going on a long cycle together, essentially. I'm literally planning today a long cycle that I'm gonna do with my friend next week. We're thinking maybe 100K, maybe 130, which sounds ridiculous, but that is what endurance game is. It's about getting a long ride in where you basically don't really stop. You work on your aerobic capacity, you work on that lung capacity, you work on your endurance. It's about building the engine, the lungs, and it's about those slow twitch muscles that we just keep on moving. It's 45 minutes. Obviously, it has to be to get a proper endurance game in. So that is what we are doing right now, team. The whole idea is that we don't really stop. Once we start, we don't really stop. There's sort of active recoveries, there's tiny pullbacks. We don't really stop, we keep going, and essentially the intensity and the heart rate doesn't waver the whole time, doesn't change like a fast and fun or anything. It's about constantly ticking over and constantly progressing as it gets harder and harder throughout this. That's basically how it works. I'll explain more as we get into it, team. But a couple of things to mention, as always, team, making sure you get on the leaderboard with us at some point. What's up, Sam? Hello. A leaderboard is where it says, basically means you're riding live with us. You'll be riding live with everyone else, you'll be riding live with me. I can shout your name, I can see your cadence, you can see everyone else's cadence. So there's plenty of opportunity and plenty of amazing things you get from doing a live class. Just like those people who are doing in a gym right now and you're on a big team display, this is also your opportunity to download the app and to get involved, to get on the leaderboard, team. Last but not least, please do try out our premium service, which is amazing. Endless features, team, loads of extra data points. It keeps you accountable because you've got that premium service, and also you don't need to see the adverts at the beginning and the end. So come on, what you're talking about, let's get involved, team. Right, now that we got that sorted, let's get into it. I've got some banging music to put on that's really gonna keep us driving through, it's really gonna keep us going in this class. I'm excited. Are you, team? It's Thursday lunchtime here. We're about to come into a lovely bank holiday weekend. So I'm in a wonderful mood as we get into it. The sun is currently shining. I think the sun is gonna stop shining for the next 2 weeks, but we celebrate these little moments here, don't we, team? Classic England, classic London, let's get ready to go. Cool, with those legs moving around, let's lose all of that resistance. Resistance 0, I don't want anything on there. Lose it all, every little drop. Once you've done that, I want you to add a tiny bit. I want you to add that little bit of extra resistance. Now that, team, becomes your resistance 1, just with that little bit of resistance there. Feel that? You should feel that little bit of weight, that bit of support under those legs. And again, that resistance 1 is where we start from, and you do not go any lower than that. You only go here, and this is where we build from. Let me put some music on, and then we'll get into it. 3, 2, 1, here we are. So with those legs moving around, just to check in with those resistances. You've got 4 main block resistances, and we're very much going to be using all of them today. Resistance 1, obviously, which I've already talked about, is that sort of lowest one, is the easiest one for us to hit. Then you've got resistance 2, 3, 4. 4 is your top one, 1 is your lowest one. 1 is like riding along a flat road, so you've got no downhill or uphill. It's nice and easy, but you obviously have to move your legs to move forward. Whereas resistance 4 is that top one. Resistance 4 is the heaviest one. It's the one we have to work for. It's the one we really have to push and work for. And you've obviously got that 2 and 3 in between. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how numbers work. Pretty simple. So, cadence is the other thing we look at. So you've got resistance, that's basically the weight, the gears we use to make sure everyone's aligned, even though we're all over the world, making sure everyone's on the same page. Your cadence, which we can all see, because you've got your cadence meter, and if you're doing that live class, you can see on your screen everyone else's cadence, is basically how fast you're going. It's the speed you're working at. Just like before, the higher the number is, the faster you're going, the lower the number is, the slower you're going. Oh my word, this is a great tune. And obviously you've got those colours as well, so it's colour coordinated. So you've got blue, the lowest. You do have grey, but we never want to be in that grey zone. Blue's the lowest, then goes green, yellow, red. Those are your colours. Right now I'm chilling in green, everyone else is in yellow, because you're all speeding on. So I'm going to join you up there. And everyone else, maybe you're in the on-demand class and you're not in that yellow zone, let's all join them. Yellow zone team, let's go for 2 minutes there. Let's put this music up. We're going 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Wonderful stuff. So just a little 2-minute push. And from that point in which I joined you in that yellow zone, we're basing it on a constant flow. We're on a constant, not quite push, in fact, yeah, push. We're on a constant push because you want to be getting around this. We want to be getting through this. And as mentioned, I'm literally organising a nice long cycle at the moment with a friend or two. And he suggested 130K. And to be honest, I said no to that. Because this is my sad day and I don't want to completely spend my whole day cycling. I want to do about 100K. 100K is doable. I think that extra 30 would be a bit ridiculous. There's such thing as too much riding on a weekend. And 130K is that. But that's very much endurance. That's endurance game. That's less of a game, that's more of a challenge. That's endurance challenge. It's still endurance. Here we go. Breathing through this, remember, we never want to like randomly spike that heart rate. That's not the point of this. Parts will get a bit harder if you think about going on a big cycle, going on a big run or anything, and you hit a hill. You will obviously slow down, but you obviously want to just get through that hill. You obviously just want to push it through. But right now we're not on that hill. Even though the music is turned like this, we still want to keep it relatively chill for now. 3, 2, 1. Pull it back just a little bit, team. You don't need to pull it back loads. You can pull it back just a little bit. Just keep ticking over. Let's do the same thing again. Another 2 minutes there, team. We're going to pick up that pace. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Right, we picked up that pace. There it is, all in those hundreds. Yes, B, yes, Jamie. Bang, straight in that red zone. Nice, Sam. Good, okay. I don't need the red zone, team. I don't need it. But if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling comfortable, you can pop yourself in it, I don't mind. There we go, with that extra pace now. Another minute there. Check in with your form, team. If you were out on the road and you had 2 panes of glass, I'm confusing analogies here. Just if you had 2 panes of glass next to you, would you hit it? No, because you want to be nice and streamlined. The way you do that, elbows tucked in. Okay, if you were out on the road and you were cycling and you were trying to nip through 2 cars, you need to be nice and streamlined. That analogy makes sense. Dangerous, but makes sense. 30 seconds. Good, keep it up there, Sam. Go on. This is still technically part of the warm-up. Three, 2, 1. You can pull it back a bit. No lower than sort of 85, I reckon. And you need to just pop it sort of into that green zone. Just a little bit, fine. That means we're still pushing on. We're not properly dropping it down. Cool, we're going to take another minute in that resistance one, and then we're going to start to blend it into those higher up resistances. We're going to do a minute in each. Minute 1, minute 2, minute 1, minute 3, minute 1. 5-minute round. Coming straight into it. dipping between that 1 and that 2, 1 and that 3, always finishing in that 1. 3, 2, 1, let's go. There won't always be minute changes. Sometimes we'll do longer, sometimes we'll do shorter, but remember the aim of this session. Just keep that heart rate nice and steady, keep ticking over. And there's two main things which keeps us consistent. One is making sure we're releasing ourselves. Obviously you can stay consistent by just looking at your cadence. The two main things that keep us ticking over, one is that form, one is that technique on the bike, and the other one is your breathing, making sure nice and steady on that breathing. All right, 15 seconds. Up to resistance 2. Now we're going to be sitting with somewhere between 90 and 100. It's got to be that big enough jump, that big enough to take you up there. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Resistance 2 here. So you can definitely feel that extra bit of weight, that extra bit of support. It's got a little bit heavier. Back to resistance 1. 3, 2, 1. There it is. That's a big tune, couple big tunes in there. All right. So we're taking it back down to that resistance 1, which means we can speed up. Resistance 3 coming up, first time in at 80 to 90. No need to go any higher than that. 3, 2, 1. Take it up there. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, there's that bit of weight. First time in that resistance 3, first time hitting a proper bit of weight, first time feeling that. Resistance 1, 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. Go on, Jamie. Yeah, we get to pull back up to this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep those legs still moving. Unbelievable. How was that? Little first round in there, little taster of that. Nothing crazy. Not for now, we've still got half an hour to go. We're gonna go for that same thing again. We're gonna save that resistance for a little bit later. We're just gonna double the amount of time we did everything for. So it's gonna be 2 minutes and 1, 2 minutes and 2, 2 minutes 1, 2 minutes and 3, 2 minutes and 1. Sound good? 10-minute round coming up. 2 minutes in resistance 1. Speed. Then we're gonna hit that resistance 4 lows. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, 10-minute round, what we saying? Here we got in, and a 3. What's up, Bennett? Welcome, team. So right now we are in resistance 1, your lowest resistance that you do in a class. Not your lowest resistance your bike goes. We're fast. 100 minimum for sure. 2 minutes here. And 2 minutes in 2, 2 minutes in 1, 2 minutes in 3, 2 minutes in 1. 10-minute round. It's endurance after all. Think of this as sort of little rolling hills. You're probably maybe gonna push slightly harder. Get that heart rate going up a little bit more on your higher up resistances, but that's not to say this resistance 1 is a recovery. It's just different. Nice feet. Yes, MK. How are you? Jamie, Sam, sticking with me all the way. Some big names in this leaderboard. Resistance 2 coming up. 10 seconds. We take it up there. 3, 2, 1. Take it up there. Right, 90 to 100. It's enough to make that difference. Now we're coming up that sort of gradual hill. We keep that pace going. Keep that momentum going with it. Good, consistent pace, go on Bennett. Yes, moved. Or FT, whatever you prefer to be called. Right, another minute in that one. It's 10-minute round, it'll fly by. I promise. Because it's just what we've already done. Imagine you sort of go over a set of rolling hills, you get that sort of how it feels in the legs and everything. This is just the same. It's just each hill is a little bit longer. Each release is a little bit longer. Each downhill is a little bit longer. I say a little bit, it's literally double from a 5 to a 10-minute round. But right now we're going on that first sort of slightly steeper and longer hill. Nice. Okay, we're about to come to the top of that first hill, that first slightly gentler hill. And we get to come down it. That resistance 1 is coming up in 10 seconds. Four, 3, 2, 1. Resistance 1. speed. Here we go. Loving the speed team. Loving it. About to come into that halfway mark. Bennett and Jamie really matching each other on those 120s. Team, remember, think about that intensity. I don't need 120s. If you want to give me 120s, you can give me them later in the class. It's about playing with that energy. You know why it's about playing with that energy? Because you got 2 minutes in resistance 3 coming up. If you want to give me 120 after the resistance 3, maybe that's better. But for now, see how you feel. Don't come off, Bennett, keep going. I just want to see hundreds minimum. Still in 100, I see you dropping off, team. We're still in resistance 1. I'll tell you when, I'll make it very clear when we're in that resistance 3. Keep it going, keep it going. Resistance 3 in 4, 3, 2, 1. Just past resistance 2. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. That's a different story. Very different story. Two minutes here. Whoa. How are we doing now? We're over that halfway mark in the entire class. And we've not even touched resistance 4 yet. Some people like resistance 4, some people like a climb. I don't mind a climb. I'm quite excited for that resistance 4. But it's coming, don't you worry. Don't you worry. Okay, another minute in this resistance 3. And then we get to get those legs going. MK, remember in resistance 3 right now, I don't want to see anything higher than 90. Not right now. That's not endurance. Should be in resistance 3, should be nice and heavy. Resistance 1 in 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, there it is. There it is. There's the speed. There it is, I see it. Oh, Jamie, it's very much that, isn't it? Red zones. Red zone for the win, I see it. A little pullback is coming up after a 10-minute round in 20 seconds. What goes around comes back around. Four, three, two, one, boom. Ooh. There you fell. Keep the legs going. Keep the legs going. Grab a little sip of water. I think it's time for resistance 4. Another 5-minute round coming up. All in resistance 4. 4 minutes stood up, 1 minute sat down. It's endurance after all. So let's climb. Let's get to the top of the hill, team. Work your way up to that resistance 4. Basically, the heaviest your bike can go. That's where I want you, team. We get ready to go. 4 minutes out of your saddle, 1 minute sat down. We go 4, 3, 2, 1. We're in. So it is endurance after all, so we want to be somewhere between about 55 and 70. Keeping those elbows tucked in, keeping it driving forward. Kind of nice. I kind of like it suddenly out the saddle, you know? It feels heavy, but it is more of that sort of strength work. But somewhere between 55 and 70. If you're in that proper resistance 4, and you know you've got a 4 minute out of your saddle, you should not be any higher than 70. I should not see any green zone on my leaderboard right now. If you feel like it's too easy, add resistance. I always say, I want you to take ownership of your classes, team. I give you those numbers. I want you to cater your resistance. You should be able to take it up and down. Sometimes don't just leave it up to me. If you get through half a class and you're finding it a bit easy, just add some resistance. Simple. There we go. You got it. So we got 2.5 minutes left of this climb, and then we're gonna add roughly about 10 to 15 onto the RPM as we sit it down, boom, and drive it forward. Good, consistency, core strong. Try not to rock too much. Keeping that balance nice and in the center as we start to come into the last 15 minutes, team. The last 15 minutes, the first half an hour kind of flew by, but that is the point of endurance game. It's just all sort of blends in to one, doesn't it? Okay, 28 seconds. You sit it down. And we're gonna add a little bit of speed as we go for that big push in that resistance force. Sat down, that's where you can get that little bit more power. 15 seconds. You got it, Fee. Right, 10. We get ready to go, team. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. Oh, yes. Big 30 seconds there if you want to lift that pace up a little bit more. Go for it. Yes. Oh, it starts to get a little bit tricky now, doesn't it? Endurance game always takes a turn in that last 15 minutes, doesn't it? Because we keep going, especially in this one, when we built up that resistance until we've hit that big resistance full round. Putting it back in 3, 2, 1. Drop it down to resistance 1 for me. And just keep those legs going. Woo! Feels good, eh? And you know what we do again? This time we're gonna do something very similar to like we did before. Remember that 5-minute round, that big 5-minute round that we started with? It went 1, 2, 1, 3, 1. We're gonna make it a 6-minute round. And it's gonna go 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, boom, 4. So we tie them all together. 6-minute round coming up, team. Getting ready to go. Starting in that resistance 1. Give me that speed, team. We go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. That's what we are doing. Right, 15. Resistance 2. Amazing speed, love that. Sort of solid red zone there, really good. Resistance 2 in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. There we go, Jamie. I see you pushing on there. Oh, that resistance 2. That's the good stuff. That's where we work. MK, try to stick sort of probably 90 to 100, maybe a tiny bit higher. Resistance 2, especially after what we've been through. It's gonna feel tough now, but we get to release it out. We get to hit that resistance 1 in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Sunset slow, hey, you know you should stay for the night. What you think when we drink while we sit by the bonfire?
There it is.
This might be love. It's a feeling that I can't get rid of. So just take my hand, 'cause you know I don't wanna play pretend. Stay with me, take a chance, baby, roll the dice.
Resistance 3 is coming up.
When I'm with you, I'm in
This is where it gets a little bit tough.
you know how to make me feel alive. Gotta give me some love, nah, nah.
7 seconds. Resistance 3. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! Under 10 minutes left. I need to add more resistance. This is what I mean. I was not in resistance 3, now I am. But we got under 10 minutes to go, team, overall. So we're gonna make the most of it. We got that big resistance 4 bit at the end of this round, that added bit that we haven't done before. Right, 10 seconds, resistance 2. Again for the final time in this round. 4, 3, 2, 1. All the way down, resistance 1. Oh, that resistance 4, and yes, we're standing up. Of course we're standing up. 20 seconds. You lot, stuck with me. As I basically take myself on this endurance challenge and you join me. You don't hesitate and you just go for it. Standing up in 3, in 2, in 1. Oh my. When we sit down, you do not touch that resistance. You stay on and you sort of just tick away. Yes, that number is gonna drop down, but you are staying there. 3, 2, 1. So we're not pushing on. We pull back, I want you to pull it back. We're keeping it ticking over. You ready to finish it off, team? How are we? I think I am, you know. Ready to stand it up. 2 minutes on the clock. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. It's been amazing. It's been something special. But all good things must come to an end. And boy, do we end it in style. This is just your old school 2-minute climb. But then we got a 1-minute finisher after that, which is gonna link straight onto it. And it may or may not be a race. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Do you want a race? We fancy a race, yeah? Fancy finishing off the race? Yeah, of course we do. Obviously. But you keep on climbing for me right now. All right. There it is. All right, we're off in 20 seconds time. 1 minute only to finish this bad boy off. All right, sit yourself down, find that resistance 2. We go in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Yeah. Huge. Huge, right? Resistance 0. Let those legs go. So good. Tough one, isn't it? But good. Fee smashed it. Sam, Jamie, look at those numbers. At the end of a class, still getting those 700s. As if. Always impressed by that. I shouldn't be, because you get it every time. But I am. Beautiful. Roll your shoulders back there for me. And your head up to one side. Up to the other. Leaning forward. And up. Give your arms a little shake off. Let me stand it up. Pushing both those heels down. Your hips back, a little wiggle out into that. Nice, spin around, do the same thing on the other side. So good. Good, from there you're gonna grab your hands in front of you, open up those back muscles, then you take it up. You give me a little lean over to one side. That little lean over to the other side. And Jamie, Fee, Sam, MK, all of you bring your hands together, give yourself a round of applause, because that was epic. 45-minute endurance game, boom, done. Legends, a lot of you. Thank you so much for joining me, team. Sending all my love, team, and have an amazing one, and I'll see you very, very soon, undoubtedly. See you.